There's so many different parts of this anime that I guess I have to pick just one. Welcome to Mel's March Madness, a limited time mini-series where I talk about all my favorite anime, manga, and manhwa throughout the month of March. In this video, we'll be covering the letter J, and the letter J stands for JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. But let's pick a JoJo because there are 6 different parts with a 7th on the way. So if I had to say, and if I had to pick, my favorite JoJo is part 4, Unbreakable Diamond. Yes, the one with Josuke and his crazy diamond ability. Now, I guess you could say this one is filled with a lot of hijinks. Maybe a little bit more hijinks in comparison to the other JoJos, because I feel like every JoJo has their own version and form of hijinks, but this one has probably the most comedic hijinks. And this is quite different from the other JoJos because it's kind of set up in a mystery type of format versus like an adventure like parts 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. And I will also say in the other JoJos, the main characters really stand out. Now don't get me wrong, Josuke in part 4 stands out just as much. But I find the characters and the supporting characters a little bit more intriguing in a different sense. And maybe it's due to the comedy aspect or the way some of these characters evolve, or it's the villain of part 4. I've just got to say that the cast of characters in part 4 just pull me in just a little bit more. To talk about it a little bit more, I'd have to say I enjoyed seeing Joseph Joestar as a grandpa, seeing Jotaro again after part 3. The fact that Diamond is Unbreakable is a story filled with miscellaneous events that eventually leads us to the end point. It's filled with a lot more comedy than I want to say other parts. And then some of the characters that you see for very brief fleeting moments really capture your heart, like Kishibe Rohan. Kishibe Rohan may be one of my favorite side characters within part 4. Not only that, but they gave him a whole side story, which makes it even more entertaining. It's like there's the universe of JoJo, and then there's the sub-universe of JoJo part 4. And they said, let's create a side story for Kishibe Rohan. Kishibe Rohan's ability, Stand, is very interesting. His ability allows him to read people's life stories and their memories. And let's not forget the villain, Yoshikage Kira. Because while we had Dio, basically, for the biggest portion of parts 1 through 3, here we kind of have a break, and Yoshikage Kira feels like a real person to an extent because he's out here offing people like it's his job. So watching this, I felt some real sense of weird horror, despite all the funny moments, because people were being mysteriously taken out left and right throughout the series. And I think the funnest part about JoJo overall, if I could talk about it as one big overarching umbrella real quick, is that every single stand and every single ability, as well as earlier on some of the characters, are all named after songs and musicians, which to be honest was the most interesting thing to me when I first started watching JoJo. So I love how the mangaka has just inserted music throughout the series and continues to carry that over and over through every single part. Now there's so much more that I could say on JoJo, but I feel like this is a dissertation in itself. And unfortunately, you cannot watch Unbreakable Diamond without the other parts that come before it to explain the power system. But if you've seen JoJo before, let me know your thoughts in the comments below as to which is your favorite part and your thoughts on Unbreakable Diamond. Or is it Diamond is Unbreakable? Hopefully you're enjoying Mel's March Madness, as I will be doing conducting a tournament bracket of all of the anime, manga, and manhwa that I discuss in this mini-series, where you will get to vote what I work on next. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. I'm Mel, the host of AniMel, and I will catch you all on the next one. Bye!